wish I was above the center of attention, but I'm not. I wish I didn't have to give in to the pressure. I'm posting pictures, trying to be someone I'm not. It feels just like I'm lying to you. I fake it, stage it, trying to live some perfect life.
Hey everybody, Thomas Love again here of Bellapock Realty. I am coming at you with another week, another vlog, and I'm going to be talking about something today that is reflective of where the real estate market is in Jacksonville right now and what we've been seeing for the past few weeks and months even. So this week I wanted to spend a few minutes talking about the state of the market and where we are, and specifically it's going to be from the perspective of buyers who are active in this current market that we're dealing with right now. I have seen, experienced directly myself, and heard from other agents who are experiencing something similar, that depending on what segment you're trying to buy in, it can be very, very competitive right now. And a lot of that is based on the fact that inventory levels remain super low. We have had a slight uptick on inventory levels recently. It's been slowly increasing ever since the start of the year in January. But overall, inventory levels remain very, very low. And that is translating into a very, very challenging time for some buyers who are looking to buy a home that they want to fall in love with. So what I wanted to talk about today were 5 tips, 5 suggestions to make this process as easy as possible in light of all the competition that's out there, to increase the likelihood and chances that your offer will be accepted, that you'll find the house that you want, and that you will increase the chances of winning a competitive bidding process on a house that comes up. So the fact that it's really, really challenging right now, there's a lot of competition, there's pent-up demand, there are a lot of people who are in the market looking for a home to buy, and there's not enough houses to go around. So what we're seeing is when a house does come up that's priced right and is in good condition, it goes quickly. And a lot of times there may even be multiple offers. So if you are involved in this process, if you have been involved in this process for a while, if you've been trying to search for a home, it's easy under these circumstances to become discouraged. And it's a very emotional process and can be emotionally draining and exhausting for sure. Patience in combination with a few of the tips that I'll be sharing with you today will make the difference.
I just wanna call my friends and see what they're doing tonight. It doesn't have to be so special. I try to be myself. You do the same and we'll be alright.
So one of the key things that you want to start out with is a really good idea as to what it is specifically you're looking for. It's often one of the very best places to start with a good real estate sales professional who will start that process, that part of the process at the very beginning. We like to offer a initial buyer consultation where we start to drill in on those details in a really sort of extensive level, more than just the surface, to really get an idea as to what your lifestyle is, what your considerations and concerns are for a home, and we try to crystallize that vision as much as we possibly can. Having a good idea of what it is you're looking for is one of the single best things that you can do in a competitive market. If you have a clear idea of what your target is, of what your ideal home is, it makes the process that much easier of recognizing opportunities quickly. In a situation like what we're experiencing now with low inventory levels and pent-up buyer demand and lots of buyer competition, being able to move quickly is really what's going to be making the difference. Some questions you're going to be asking yourself might be what your lifestyle is. Do you like to cook a lot? Do you like to entertain a lot? How important are schools to you? Do you like to spend time outdoors? Is it an outdoor living area important to you? Do you value privacy? These are all just some very basic questions that you need to ask yourself when you set out to look for a new home. And like I said, a good real estate professional advisor will be able to help you answer some of those questions.
'Cause this pressure's really bringing me down. I wish I had the guts to start a conversation with someone. Just be who I am, not care so much about first impressions. So
another very important tip that I have for you as a buyer in this market is you want to talk to a lender as early in the process as you possibly can. Talking to a lender and having that conversation about pre-qualification and pre-approval is a very important place to start, because that gives you the financial framework that you're going to need in order to know what it is you're going to be able to do, as to know what your specific goals are and what your capability is based on your financial background and profile. But having that conversation with a lender at the beginning of the process is going to help you more clearly identify a very important component of your home search, and that's going to be affordability. What you think you may be able to comfortably afford and what you actually may be able to comfortably afford may be two different things. So it's important to speak with a lender early on and crystallize that aspect of the process so that there are no surprises, and more importantly, when you do find the house that you want to make a move on, that you decide that you want to make an offer on, you can do so without delay. Sellers, especially in a competitive market like this, are going to require some kind of pre-approval letter to accompany that offer to help show that you are a legitimate buyer and that you are qualified and able to execute the offer that you're presenting. So bottom line, guys, very, very important to speak with a lender. You don't want to be in a situation where you find the house of your dream and you haven't yet spoken to a lender, and therefore you're not able to move with the speed that is required in order to achieve your goals. So if I'm ever end up working with any of you who are watching this video and that is a question that you will hear from me very early on in the process, do not get offended by that question. It's a highly appropriate question. It's a highly relevant question, and hopefully I just explained why.
I just wanna call my friends and see what they're doing tonight. It doesn't have to be so special. I try to be myself.
Tip number 3 for successfully purchasing a home in this competitive market: don't lose focus on what it is you're trying to do. I work with some buyers and they sort of become obsessed with the notion of getting a deal. Well, I mean, I'm here to ensure that you as a buyer get the best deal that's possible. But I think it's also helpful that when you set out to purchase a home, a place that you're actually going to live in, getting a deal is important, but it needs to be realized that there are a lot of other considerations that go into that decision. Let me give you an example. You find the house of your dream. You decide to put an offer on. But deep down inside, there's this nagging feeling that you can get it for a better price. So you submit an offer that's probably lower than what you should be submitting in today's climate. So whenever you negotiate, and that's what submitting a lower offer is, the seller may counter you. They may take a day to do so. You are risking somebody else coming in and taking that property from you. Take a look at it this way. Anytime there is a counter offer involved in the negotiation process, it takes time. Time is not always on your side when you're in a competitive market competing against other motivated buyers. So bottom line is, if you're too heavily focused on getting a steal and getting a great deal on a home, that is going to supersede your ability to get a home in a market like this. So you have to be really clear about that. You have to really understand that, and you have to be clear about what your goals are from the outset, and you have to try to not lose sight of those goals.
'Cause this pressure's really bringing me down.
Okay, so the fourth tip I have for buyers, in some cases beleaguered buyers who are struggling to purchase a home in an environment like we have today, where you are competing against a ton of other buyers for a limited amount of houses available. It's more of a tactical level advice. So this tip is really going to be technical with regards to your offer. So let's say you've gone through all the steps, you've done everything I've previously mentioned, you've gotten pre-approved, you have a very clear and specific idea of what it is you're looking for, and you're clear about what you're trying to achieve, you've actually identified the house and it's time for you to make an offer on it. What are some tips I have for increasing the likelihood of that offer being accepted? Well, if the house is priced properly and fairly, go ahead and offer full ask. That relates right back to the earlier point of being obsessed with getting a deal. It runs completely counter to that. So if you see a house that you love, it's priced fairly, snatch it up. Do what you can to snatch it up. Offer full ask. Another thing you can do is pledge as large of a binder deposit as you possibly can. Another thing that you can do is to talk with your lender about the possibility of making the escrow period as short as possible. So closing as soon as possible. Sellers sometimes are responsive to shorter escrow period. This isn't always the case, but sometimes it is. That's why your agent, it might be important for your agent to reach out to the listing agent of the property that you're interested in to find out some key information or to get some interesting insight. Just find out what's important to the sellers, what their situation is. A good agent is going to reach out to that listing agent to get as much information as possible while they're actually advising you on your offer. You're going to want to speak to the seller's needs. Another good option might be to offer a shorter due diligence period. So anytime you make an offer on a home, there typically is written into that offer a due diligence period or an inspection period. So the due diligence period is written into every contract. It's a period of time in which you are able to get inspections done, do whatever research. The due diligence period is a period that is typically written into contracts that allows you to answer any questions, any lingering doubts or questions that you may have about the property, enables you to conduct any research that you need to do, including a home inspection as to the property, and it's a period of protection in that if for some reason the property is unappetized based on whatever information comes to light, you can withdraw and get your binder back. Negotiating or asking for a shorter due diligence time might be an option for you. A shorter due diligence period shortens the period of time in which your contract is in question. For the seller, a shorter due diligence period is desirable because it lessens the uncertainty, and that can be one of the elements that makes your offer more appealing to sellers.
I just wanna call my friends and see what they're doing tonight. It doesn't have to be so special. I try to be myself. You do the same.
Okay guys, the fifth tip for helping to increase the odds and likelihood of your offer being the offer that is chosen by a seller in a competitive market. And to that end, I think making an effort to personalize the process is very, very helpful. So when you as a buyer enter a contract to purchase a property from a seller, we real estate agents call that a transaction. So it sounds very clinical and sort of impersonal. And this last tip is related to mitigating that effect a little bit. I think it's very helpful to personalize the process as much as possible. And what has worked out well for us in the past is encouraging our clients in a competitive market to write a personalized letter to the seller. A real one, a really well thought out letter that is customized and sincere and earnest. It goes a long way, trust me when I tell you this, it goes a long way towards making a favorable impression on the seller that you're trying to engage with. And I recommend it under any and all circumstances, especially in a situation with market conditions, the likes of which we're experiencing now. As I mentioned earlier, the process of searching for a home in a hotly contested environment can be a very discouraging and emotionally draining experience. It's important to be patient, to be optimistic, and to stick with your guns on what it is that you want. It may be difficult to do. I'm not saying it's easy. The process will be worthwhile overall, and it's important to remind yourself of that. Hopefully these tips will prove to be helpful to you as you embark on your search. If you have not already solicited the services of a real estate professional, I would be happy to help. Just reach out to me. My contact information is in the comments down below. If you find this information and these videos to be helpful or entertaining or any of the above, please consider subscribing to us. That helps me out, helps you out. You get access to great information. If you click on the bell, it'll notify you whenever a new video is uploaded. It also helps out that if you click the like button if you found this video informative. And like I said, if there's any way that I can help out, feel free to reach out to me directly. Thanks for tuning in, and look forward to seeing you around in the next video.
This is frustrating.
Can you see us? This is start of another vlog. This is our home office. This is where the magic happens.
Magic.
Okay, a little sneak view at our workforce that we have here. Want to say hi? Yeah. Riveting. Or riveted is more like it. Our newest and youngest recruit. I feel the same way. This is what my refrigerator sees every day. I'm gonna go record a vlog. You're on the vlog right now. Yeah, you actually are.
Wait, I am?
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
'Cause I just wanna call my friends and see